Icon Radio, your number one entertainment plug. Hello everyone, this is Myra Maloba, the Afro-Punk Queen, here at Icon Radio, your number one entertainment plug. This is Money Mondays. We do this each and every Monday from 10 to 12 noon. We highlight businesses, especially in and around the 254. If you'd like to reach out to us, be sure to hit us up on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter on Icon Radio. Icon Radio Ke. And our WhatsApp is www.iconradio.co.ke. If you'd like to also send us a message and also send us a voice note, you can find us on WhatsApp at 0788 380030. In studio today, we've got the owner of Ke.ki, Bilha. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you so much, Myra.
Karibu sana. First of all, this studio is looking amazing. Thank you very much. It's very colorful. The sugar is attacking my nostrils. Like, I can't wait to finish this. Okay, no. I'd like to have a very nice conversation and then dig in.
Yes.
It looks amazing. I can't even imagine how it is at your house every day, because where? Me, I'd be over here at, ballooning by the time I'm 65. First of all, let's get to know you just a little bit.
Yes.
Is it Ke.ki, Ke.ki, or Ke.ki? K.I.
It's Ke.ki, Ke.ki. Cake Studio.
Okay.
Yes.
How did you come up with the name Ke.ki? Ke.ki is such a unique name. The first time I heard it, I was like, yes! Yeah. Simple, to the point, and you know what's going on.
Yeah, Ke.ki is cake in Kiswahili, but I wanted to put the dots there just to make it sure that like people know it's Kenyan. Yes, so that's why I put it at Ke.ki.
That was a brilliant. Yeah. You should be a copywriter, by the way. If this fails, just go into agency work.
I think so.
It will not fail because, oh my God, you are so talented. Like, everything looks so amazing. Now, when you started off in your career, is this where you started off?
Actually, no. My background is in PR and marketing. Yeah, so getting into baking was something I stumbled upon because of a situation.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So what made you decide baking is the way to go? That now I'm going to go into school, I'm going to learn, because that's something that you have to, like. I know that people who are bakers at home and they teach themselves, but of course, if you want to do it as a profession, you have to learn. What pushed you towards that?
Actually, it's my mom who brought up the idea since I was home with the kids. The kids were pretty young. I had a 2-year-old and a 1-year-old, and I was looking for a way I can make money while still being home and still having the kids. Yes. So she was like, I think baking is a really good, you should try baking. And I thought about it. I was like, actually, it's not a bad idea. I love cooking. I didn't know how to bake. So that's the reason why I went to school. Because I needed to know the science behind baking.
Yeah.
Yes.
You weren't scared like this is something totally new and then you have to go to school again and it's something that you've never done. It was a really big leap forward. Like, how were you going into it?
I think I was excited because it was something new.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I knew the course was not going to be for a long time, like uni where it's 4 years or 5 years. It was just going to be a 4-month course. And I was looking forward to also like trying something different, except from like apart from being home with the kids, I was just going to go to school at least every day and learn baking. Yeah.
So why did you decide to leave PR and marketing altogether to get into baking?
Cause I got the kids and they're very close in age, so I knew I had to be there, just to make sure they're safe and they're okay. So we made a decision for me to stay home. Yeah. Okay. While the kids were young.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know it's a difficult thing being a parent and trying to keep up a career, especially as a mother.
Yes.
So how did your husband feel about now you trying to get into baking?
He was very supportive. Yeah, he was very supportive, and he was my biggest cheerleader. Yes. So he really supported me.
Right.
Yeah.
And like now, how long did the course take? And then how are you able to juggle now both doing the course, learning,
and home?
And home.
So the course took 4 months. And obviously I started from the basic baking, and until now wedding cake baking, which was a master class. So it took around 4 months to finish. I just made sure I maximized, because most people take 6 months to a year, but I did a crash course. And I had a day scholar nanny then. So I was able to go for classes which are 2 hours, 11 to 1 every day. So I was able to be home on time to take care of the kids. But it was quite difficult. Yes, it was. Yeah.
Especially the fact that now you've always been home with the kids, and then now you have to suddenly leave and do anything.
Yeah. So.
And now, when it came to now practicing and putting it out there. What was your plan in now the marketing bit and getting your customers and stuff like that?
I didn't have a plan. Because this was something new, and I just had to it was word of mouth at that point. I really didn't have a plan. I just knew at least I have a skill where I can make some money on the side. So for me, it was just word of mouth. With friends, neighbors, family. And how was your first experience, like now baking for friends and family? I was so anxious. Actually, you were my first client. And I was still anxious. You still get anxious if you're baking for a friend or a new client. Yes. And actually, a friend would give you more anxiety.
Exactly.
And then a new client. So, I'm glad. I think the first step is when you bake your first order, at least now you kind of start gaining confidence. In, getting more orders. I
remember you gave me the task of now, I got the goodies, but now to start taking pictures, I was like, gosh. Now, me, I don't even know how to be a proper foodie. My pictures always look so bad. So do you rely on that to kind of get the word out? Like now, pictures from your clients to also just kind of like put the word out?
So personally for me, when I take any orders, I take pictures before dispatching. Like any cake or product I've made for the clients, and I post on Instagram.
I remember I took the pictures and I sent them to you, and then you're like, I think I need something more like this. So just use this on your social. But it's good to know what you want. It's good to know what you want. How was your first batch of goodies that you're dispatching out now? Apart from me, how is the feedback like?
Well, some were good, and some I was still trying to perfect my skill. Let me just say that. Because things like decorating, those take time and practice. And also sometimes fine, you know the recipe, but something just goes wrong. So that's why it's usually good as a baker to continue practicing at home, baking for your family or friends. Have a small get together. So that you don't get a paying client, and then now you're trying to remember a recipe from 3 months ago, and then something goes wrong. So it's good to keep on practicing with people around you, and they're the best people to give you feedback. And honest feedback.
True. The baking world can be tough. I'm in those groups.
Yes.
Where? My friends.
Pressure.
Yes. The people are nikwad.
Yes. And kumulikwa. So what I ordered versus
what. Oh my god.
What I got.
Those posts, I'm sorry, they usually make me laugh. But as an entrepreneur, I'm like, baby, I understand this kind of thing because I've been through that pressure. Have you ever had that one client who has come back to you and said, I did not like what you baked, they were not tasty, they were dry? Have you ever had one of those?
For me, it was just one, but it was not the taste. It was a fondant cake order. For bakers, they know fondant is very... It's very difficult to work with, and you have to keep on practicing. So I've had one client who called me and they were not satisfied a few years back, but she told me the cake was amazing, but the design was not what she really wanted. So I've had to keep on practicing and bettering my fondant skills.
What I like about you is that where you haven't perfected, you seek the help of others, and that's something people need to learn how to do, because you don't know everything by yourself as much as you've gone to school, right? All right, we'll be back with more from Ke.ki. I can't wait to dig in. So we'll take a short break, but I will not dig in immediately. This is Money Mondays, joining the conversation on our socials, but we'll be right back after this. Icon Radio, your number one entertainment plug. We are back with Money Mondays. I'm your girl, Myra Maloba, the Afro-punk queen. And remember, we do this each and every Monday from 10 to 12 noon here on Icon Radio, your number one entertainment plug. In studio today, we've got Ke.ki. Oh, my gosh. I know the camera is not supposed to show this, but I'm drooling. The whole office has lit up. You've literally lightened up our Monday. Mondays are usually dreary, but today you brought life into the studio.
I'm glad.
Guys are singing. They are skipping in the hallways. They're like, there's cake today. Cake makes people happy. I think it's a what are those called? Endorphins or something.
Yeah,
they just make you happy. Yes. So thank you so much for being in studio with us today.
Thank you.
Ke.ki is a cake studio, and you deal with everything that's sweet.
Yes,
sweet and pastries.
Yes,
yeah.
Yeah.
So now let's talk. You're dressed very nicely. I love your shirt. By the way, I need to order one.
Thank you.
And this is something you can literally rock in the streets. What made you choose the colors for, or how did you choose the colors for now your brand?
I love bright colors, and I love pink. And I thought the pink would complement really nice with this turquoise blue.
Yeah.
So that's why I combined both colors, and they look very bakery like colors. So just look exciting and fun.
True.
Yeah, and sweet.
Yeah.
So when you think of pink, you think of frosting.
Yeah.
So that's why I chose the colors.
That's an interesting thought about how you put it together, because not many people put thought into what their brand should represent.
Yeah.
And I could completely, when you started talking, I was thinking about confetti.
Yeah. Sprinkles.
And chocolate chips.
And ice cream.
And marshmallows and licorice. Oh, yes. Now I totally understand. Now, when now you started off your business, did you establish that you want to be in a premises, or you're going to start off from home? How did you decide, or where did you decide to now start off your business from?
Initially, when I began baking, I was working from home. That was because now my kids were still small, and working from home was at that point very convenient for me. So I was working from home in the beginning, and then beginning of last year, I chose to have a premise. Yes. Yeah. But unfortunately, I closed the shop down. I closed the shop just to save on costs.
Great.
Yeah.
We were in the middle. You can't even understand. We're in the middle of a pandemic.
Yeah.
Things like this sometimes can tend to be a luxury. You choose between now, because guys are losing their jobs. You choose between, taking care of your home or buying cake. Yeah. Like what? During that time, and setting up a business in a premises, what were the major setbacks for you before you decided to close?
I think my major setback was the distance between my home and the premise.
Right.
Yeah, it would take me quite some time getting from home to the shop and shop to the home. Right. So I was spending about maybe 6 hours on the road, which didn't make any sense because those hours I would have been baking for a client. I would have been, just selling basically. Yeah, because baking takes a few hours for any order. So for 6 hours, those are almost 3 cakes I would have dispatched to clients. So it didn't make any sense at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was also costly and time.
Right.
Yeah.
And did you have to have any permits?
Yeah, we did. I had to have fire, food handling, and also the license for running the business. And there's one more. Yeah, but four in total. Yeah. Yes.
And those permits usually it's something that's quite costly, or it's something that's...
Yeah, they are costly. If you cumulatively, yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So food handlers is 1,000, and then fire is around 4,500, and then the license that we had at the shop was 20,000, and then there was another one, I think around 3.5 or 2.5.
So when you were thinking of setting up in an establishment, establishment or a premises, even no matter how big or small it is, you have to have quite a bit of capital.
Yes. Yeah.
Before you embark on that.
Yeah. Including buying ingredients for baking, the products you need to display at your shop. Yeah.
So how did you manage to put all of that together before even just checking into the shop?
My husband helped me out, and also family and people who believed in my craft.
Right.
Yes. Yeah. They helped me out.
Support is usually a great way to at least start a business. And now, how is it maneuvering? Also now, I'm sure now the setup was again being away from the home now for longer hours. How are you maneuvering both of that?
I think I was hardly. It was very difficult because I would leave early in the morning. And the kids would see me like for 15 minutes, and they're in school. By the time I'm home, it's around 9 o'clock. They're asleep, so it was very difficult maneuvering. I think I was surviving on video calls.
Right.
Most of the time, WhatsApp video calls. Have you done homework? Have you? Yeah. So it was very difficult, but the experience was amazing. Yeah.
So now you're back home. How is it compared to now being in the premises?
One thing I can say is I'm very glad to be back home. Obviously, it has minimized costs greatly, and then I can be able to see my kids more. And then I can also work at night and be flexible. I mean, at the shop, I had to leave the shop and go home, and then I'm tired. So now I can be able to structure my time where I can bake overnight, rest during the day, or dispatch the product. So it's very flexible. Very, very flexible.
But okay, I'm sure it's very flexible, but for those of us with kids, like, how do you keep them away from the kitchen long enough to finish what you're doing, and even after you finished, how do you keep them away? Because let me tell you, even me myself, like even if it was my husband baking and I'm over there, I wouldn't be able to stay away from this. How do you manage the hustle and bustle of being back in the house and try to get your work done?
I talk to the kids. I make sure they're aware that this is work. And I need to deliver. I have deliverables. You just have to talk to them nicely, and of course you have to lure them by, don't worry, I'll make for you yours later. So I always have to make sure there's a balance with me baking for the house and baking for clients. That way they're just not, it's not like passing by outside a bakery and then you're smelling the bread but you can't even have it.
It's literally right there in front of you.
It's torture. So I usually have to make sure the balance is there. So if they see me making some treats, then I can agree with them. Don't worry, on Saturday I'll make for you your treats. So they feel I'm just not only baking for work.
And what resources do you use to continue improving your craft? What do you refer to so as to be able to know what's new, what's out there and stuff like that?
Definitely YouTube. A lot of YouTube. I love watching the tutorials. I see what's trending. Also, like locally, like on Instagram, I'm able to see the trends that bakers here in Kenya are following. So those are the two resources I use a lot.
Have you ever had a mentor, somebody you look up to in terms of the baking game and?
Yes. Someone I know, whose craft is like amazing is someone called Phyllis. She's the director of Cake Couture. Her cakes are just amazing. Her work is extraordinary.
Her work is amazing.
And I've had the pleasure of meeting her, I think twice. And
she's a lovely lady.
Very, very lovely. And I just I told her work is amazing, and I follow her a lot. She inspires me. The way as bakers you keep on looking and saying, one day, sometimes it gives you pressure, but sometimes it gives you motivation of where you can be if you continue pushing.
And how do you ever look through the pages, like for the ones that are there to kind of see, like if ever you've been mentioned.
If I've ever been mentioned.
Yeah, do you ever have
what I ordered?
Have the pressure. Have the pressure. As a baker.
Yes.
To keep on looking through the pages to see, because those pages are brutal.
Yeah. Like people's work.
Yeah.
I follow a few, and you have that pressure, especially when you see bakers like putting out amazing work.
Right.
It's a lot of pressure, but I feel like you need to be your own competition.
True.
You need to see where have I come from and what am I doing now.
Right.
Because if you keep on looking at people's work and being depressed and having anxiety, and you're like, oh my God, I'm not there, I'm not doing anything, it will just you lose all the motivation you have. So you should be your own competition.
Be your own measuring stick.
Yes. So always be proud of where you've come from.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll take a short break. We'll be back with more from Ke.ki. And we're waiting to dig in. But before that, we'll be back after this break.
Icon Radio.
All right, we are back. This is Money Mondays. If you want your business to be featured here, be sure to hit us up on our email, which is info@iconradio.co.ke. You are streaming us on Icon Radio, and you're streaming us on www.iconradio.co.ke. I'm telling you, my mouth is just watering because of the cakes and I'm getting my words mixed up. But yes, you're streaming us on www.iconradio.co.ke, and you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, all Icon Radio KE. You can also get us on WhatsApp, which is our WhatsApp number is 0788 380030. Send in your salams, send in your suggestions, your questions, your voice notes. We'd love to hear from you and interact with you. Today in studio we've been having Bilha, who is the owner of Ke.ki. Now, business can sometimes be tricky, sometimes can get depressing. What has been the major challenge for you as a business owner?
I think my major challenge right now is biggest is transporting your goods, especially if you're very busy baking and you need a cake delivered to a client.
Right.
It's very, the transport part is usually very tricky because maybe you've baked a cake that looks beautiful, you send a picture to a client and then they're like, hey, I can't do this, and you're like,
I am guilty of that.
You're like, how? You're not gonna the picture I've sent for you is not what you're going to get. Because most of the time the client thinks about the cost, but also cakes are very delicate and you need to make sure it reaches the client in one piece, because you could be having a corporate event or somewhere where they're taking pictures and or a birthday cake for a child. You want to make sure that cake reaches in one piece.
Right.
Yes. And what you say, it should be what I ordered versus what I got. It should be the same.
Yeah.
So that's my biggest challenge is transport. So we're trying to work around because it's also, which I understand, because it's quite costly paying for a cab versus paying for a border, which is understandable. But when you're dealing with cakes, I think there has to be that afterthought of how is it getting to me, so that I'm able to deliver to you something quality and what you ordered for.
So basically, for a client, it's better for them not to be in a hurry whenever they're ordering for something. At least they give it a bit of time so that you also figure out the entire logistics as well. I always
discuss with clients that where is it being delivered and how is it going to get to you, so that we agree on the said date how it's going to get to you. And if I see the cake, if it's donuts, that's not an issue. If it's muffins that are not frosted, that's not an issue. But if it's a cake that is stacked, then that's a very big issue. So with certain cakes, I usually advise the client to preferably pay for a cab.
But even a cake that's stacked, like in a cab, does it normally get to the destination in one piece, literally?
There's a way you can place it in the car and you make sure it's stable. So it's definitely 90% safer in a Bolt or a Little Cab or whichever kind of app you're using than than do the man carrying the cake and driving with one hand. How? Because some don't have the carrier at the back.
Right.
And like and how they drive and with bumps and with everything. So you're not assured of getting your treats in one piece.
Yeah. But nowadays there are those duties that actually have you're able to carry cakes in them. They even put shells and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Are they're still there, right?
Yeah. And yes, they're still there. And I would still advise
for a cab.
If it's for a vehicle.
Regardless.
Yes. Either you pick up or I get for you. I know it's very hard, especially when you've already spent money on the cake.
Yeah.
But I think for you to get like whatever you had ordered for is to make sure you also invest in the delivery.
Right.
Yeah.
Are there some people who actually now just come to you and pick it up instead of sending it over?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you are around where I operate, I deliver for free. You can come and pick up.
Okay.
Yes.
And have you managed to, like, with years now that you've experienced it, have you managed to kind of like overcome the transport issue?
Somehow, but it's still a challenge. To be honest, it's still a challenge.
Yeah.
So it's something we are still working on every day, and also making sure the costs are friendly.
Right.
Yes, because I think that's the biggest challenge is the cost. So I want to make sure that even when a client knows they're gonna pay for a cab, they're not feeling the pinch as much.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm working on right now. Is the costing.
And how do you manage in this market, because everybody bargains?
Yes.
Everybody negotiates.
Yeah.
How do you manage that you still try to stay within the same margins and still make a profit at the same time?
I think the best thing nowadays is just coming up with a price list. So you do your own pricing and come up with a price list. If you just send a message and say, Ke.ki 1800, and then there's no structure of this is my price list for kg, then someone is seeing an opening for bargain.
Yes.
Yeah, because they're like, okay, so unaweza fanya 1500 basi, so there's that opening. So I think the best thing is coming up with a price list so the clients know this is set and this is what I need to pay.
Right.
Yeah.
Have you ever refused a job, especially because a client is not valuing what the value of the work you're putting in versus what they want to pay?
Yeah, and I think that's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay to refuse an offer that you feel like this is not worth what I'm offering. Yes, so I have refused.
Okay.
Yes.
Because I remember the time on one of the baking groups, there's a lady who came out and was like, somebody asked for me a cake and I charged them about 15,000 shillings, and they're like, how do you pay 15,000 shillings for that? I usually get it for 3,000. So she packed things in a box.
Yes.
I think you saw that post.
Yes, I remember.
She put the flour,
the blue band,
the
baking eggs, powder, and the eggs.
Everything.
Yeah.
She shipped to them, like,
now bake the cake.
Bake the cake. That's what your 3,000 is.
Yeah. You're baking for someone's skill and expertise in, creating this piece that you want. So you can't put a price on that or devalue what I'm offering you.
Right.
Yes.
What have been your biggest triumphs in now your career?
I think at the moment is doing more wedding cakes. I think that's one thing I've always wanted to put my energy in.
Right.
So I've been getting more cake orders, so I love that. Yeah, and from next week we'll be on Tuno app. So
nice.
So
Tuno are friends of the show.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
And for now, somebody who wants to reach you, how would they be able to find you? So
you can reach me on Instagram at Ke.ki Cake Studio, or on WhatsApp, or call on 0710 350 746. Okay. Yes.
And if somebody wanted to come to you, would you be able to give your address?
If you're making an order, then I can send you the pin.
Before somebody comes knocking down your door.
Make the order first. Yes.
And by the way, before we leave, I have to ask, how have you managed to put yourself out there? How do people are able to see you, and how have you managed in terms of marketing?
I think one thing I do a lot is try to post as much as I can on Instagram, just so people can see my work and what I offer.
Yeah.
Yes. So I post a lot of my work on Instagram. Yeah, because Instagram is more visual. You need to see what you're getting.
Right.
Yes.
And have you been able to get, through what you're posting, have you been able to get orders through your page?
Yes, I have. Yes, I have. I get a couple of orders from Instagram and also word of mouth and referrals.
Right.
Yes.
And what are the what do your prices range from? Like, say, for cakes, wedding cakes.
So for like my price range is between 1,500 and 2,500 and 3,000 for cakes. So
Okay.
this is from vanilla now going to blueberry cakes, caramel cakes, chocolate fudge cake, Nutella cake. Yes.
Okay.
And then now wedding cakes, it depends now on the flavor, on the number of kgs, on the packs. But we have a package for like, we're having a package like for this month and next month for 28,000 we'll put it on Instagram. Yeah.
Okay.
So we have a package for an offer package between like this month and next month. Yeah.
And then, other than cakes, is there anything else you do?
Yeah, I do pastries. This is sausage rolls, donuts, samosas, pizza. Yeah, so we can definitely, as much as we can offer the birthday cake, we can also do other treats for your birthdays.
So you're also
or
able to
corporate
cater?
events. Yes, I'm able to cater your events.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, this has been an amazing conversation with you. Thank you so much for coming into Money Mondays. But before I go, I was asked by one of my directors, you better dig in and give us a first-hand experience. So what would you recommend for me to taste?
Definitely a donut.
A donut.
Yes.
All right. You know, by the, like, you have brought on the chocolate, and I'm so happy. It's like, you know me so well.
Yes.
Here we go. Oh my God. You know, when you get a donut that's still soft and moist,
Yes.
it's so good. So good. And the chocolate is so nice and rich.
Yeah.
Remember dark chocolate, girl?
Yeah.
I probably shouldn't be eating a chocolate at the same time.
We always want to make sure our products are fresh. Fresh.
That you've done.
Yes.
It's fresh. It's amazingly colorful, and then the dark chocolate is actual dark chocolate. Like, it's not even a play on it. It's not the syrup that
No.
This is actual dark chocolate.
Yes.
This is amazing. Thank you so much, Bilha.
Thank you so much.
And if you'd like to try some for yourself, be sure to check out Bilha. Her prices are affordable, and she's able to get it right to your doorstep.
Yes.
And she'll get it to you in time, and it'll be nice and delicious. Like, she has done all the cakes for Icon Radio in the GI Random.
Yes.
And people can't get enough. So be sure to check out Ke.ki. That's Ke.ki on Instagram. And holla at our girl. But for me, Myra Maloba, it's adios till next week. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to hit us up on our socials and come back for Money Mondays. See you. Icon Radio, your number one entertainment plug.